Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft, where we are about to start a brand new series called Aquatica. So, the Minecraft Aquatic update has been out for a little bit, and it's looking pretty darn cool. And I really haven't gotten the chance to play around with it that much, and I figured why not go ahead and actually play around with it a bit with you guys, because it could be kind of fun to check this out and to experiment and have a bit of fun in it, and to see what we can do in the game here, and to see if we can play around. Oh my goodness, I already see a dolphin out there. To see if we can play around though with maybe creating some sort of a marine sanctuary or something, because there's now a lot of aquatic wildlife. There's actually over 3,000 different types of fish in the game, thanks to some random generating patterns and such not. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to try and build basically an aquarium and a marine wildlife center of some sort. And so we're going to go ahead and try and do that here. Now, Aquatica is going to be a bit of a hybrid series, so you can see I'm in survival mode right now, and we'll be doing a lot of our gameplay in survival mode, but it's also going to be a very build-focused series, and for the building, I'm going to use creative mode. So we already have a little bit of a house set up here, and the way I'm going to handle using creative mode is basically we can use creative mode when we have a resource that we can obtain that would just be a little bit annoying to get. So, for example, if we wanted to build just, let's say, a castle. We're not going to be doing that, but if we wanted to build a castle, then we could go ahead and use the creative mode for the stone so that we don't have to worry about having just a ton, or so that we don't have to worry about going and mining for an excessive period of time, but we have to be able to reasonably get the resources in most cases. Now, for some of the stuff that's decorative, I'm not going to be too strict about that. So for glowstone, for sea lanterns and stuff, if they're just being used for a decorative purpose for lighting, then I'm not going to be too strict. But if it has a utility, then that's when we're really going to be trying to get it in survival mode, and that'll come into play a little bit later on. So we have a little bit of a house here. Let me go ahead and give you a tour. We already saw some stuff there as I geared up. So this is where we'll be living. We've got our nice little, I guess you could call it a foyer area. We've got the back here. We've got this nice little waterfall inside, because who doesn't want to have a waterfall in their house? We've got a little bit of a garden out here where it looks like we already have some food. This is where we'll be growing quite a lot of our plants. So let's make sure we keep that well stocked so that we have some food. That food is another thing that we're going to have to manage on our own, and so one of the first things I'm going to want to do is actually set up an animal farm as well, so that we have access to more types of food. I started us off here with kind of with this 64 of a steak, just so that we can keep our food bar full, and we are going to be able to use that for now, but when that runs out, oops, I didn't mean to break both of those, darn it. But when that runs out, then that's it. That's all we're gonna have, and we'll have to be able to be finding our own food by then. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and shove some of this in a chest here by the furnace, because I guess this is kind of our kitchen area too. And you will notice about this house, even as we go upstairs here, you'll see that we don't actually have an enchanting area. So this is kind of the bedroom. We can't sleep, but we will be setting our spawn here in case we die. And we have a chest here, and then there's kind of a back bedroom as well, and then just a little bit of an attic where we'll pop up here, and you can see we've got a lot of storage up here. So that's where I'll just be keeping any random junk we happen to pick up. So as for the survival part of this is going to be our hub. This will be where we live, and then the aquarium area, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Oh, it's thunderstorming. Let's not deal with this. It rains constantly in this world. The entire time that I was building this house, it took ages for me to be able to, the whole time that I was building this, it took ages to get the rain to go away, because I had to keep clearing the weather. Now, I do have cheats on. I'm going to enable us to have creative mode again, like I said, if we need to. But we're going to be trying not to rely too heavily on it, because we still want to enjoy the survival aspects of the game as well. It's going to be mostly just a matter of convenience for creative mode. So of course we have that little area. We also have a small stable here with a horse that happened to be hanging out on this part of the island. And so we have our horse friend here. We have kind of this area here. I'm going to be putting some chests in here where we can store some horse-related things. I don't have a saddle for this guy. What do you guys think? Should we use creative mode to get a saddle, or should we actually try and find that as part of the story? Because that could be kind of fun too, to be able to ride our horse around. And then on the other side of the house, we go back through here, we actually have a little dock area, so we can fish off of here potentially. Oops. We can do some fishing. We can use our boat, which is under the dock right now currently. And, I am not used to the new boat physics. I should say I have not played very much with the new versions of Minecraft. The main versions I played are the ones that I've been actually doing the modding in, and with that in mind, I haven't even done too much with those other than the stuff that actually pertains to the mod. So we actually have some fish in the water here. I think these are cod, and I'm pretty sure... Oh yeah, guys, check this out. If you haven't seen it already, you can actually swim now. Like... You can legit swim. It's not just floating in the water. You can actually go swimming. So that is pretty darn cool. But yeah, so let's see if we can actually hunt down some of these fish. I think we can just take a swipe at them with our sword. Whoa! Did that? No, we kind of just lunged towards it, I guess. Is that what happened? Okay. Oh no, it just was a startling sound. It almost felt like we kind of went lunging towards it for a minute, but I don't think we actually did. So yeah, we can get some fish pretty easily that way. Now, we are going to want to save some of these guys to put them in an aquarium, but the cod here, there's a million of them, and so we really don't need to worry too much about... Oh, that's something we do, however, need to worry about, and I've dropped the fish. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Get out of the water, because we have our first enemy already. So... we have, oh, there's the fish. Okay, it's not going down, it's actually going up. I forget, items float here, but we want to get away from this guy because he's going to be very fast. So this is a drowned. These guys are probably going to be a huge pain in the butt throughout the course of the playthrough. Basically, this is what happens when a zombie gets stuck underwater. Is he still aggro on me? He is now. Alright, I want him to be aggro. I want him to come and get me here. And wow, he actually swims pretty quickly. Oh, he's only going to come after us if we're here in the water, isn't he? Alright, stay away from us, sir. I want nothing to do with you. I just want to take you out. That is an absolutely terrible sound that you make. I do not like that sound, but we got to take this guy down. He's actually quite strong, too. It's a good thing we were able to kind of take him out here. But this should actually float, so that's really nice. Or... maybe it doesn't. A lot of items do float now. I don't remember exactly if it's all of them or what, but a lot of items now will float. And so, gone are the days of losing your items in the sea. Most of them will come to the top, I think. But yeah, so those guys are something we're definitely going to want to deal with. But as we go about building this marine center, I think the first thing we're going to want to do is we're actually going to kind of establish an area to set up. So again, we're going to want to establish a mine, even though we can use creative mode for getting stone or whatnot. And I did try to stick with materials that are in this area. So we've got some dark oak, we've got some normal oak, we've got spruce, and there are actually spruce trees up in those mountains, and there is a dark oak forest just over there. So I'm trying to stay within the... Really? My computer always does this to me when I go to record. You guys are familiar with the window switch that it does. But I'm not playing on peaceful. I don't seem to be losing... What difficulty am I on? Normal difficulty. Okay, that's fine. The focus is not going to be on fighting. We might turn it up to a harder difficulty if we actually do go to take something on. So, for example, we might take on a sea temple or something, and for stuff like that, you guys may see sometimes I might open this up a little bit and have perhaps some guests come and help me. You probably can take a pretty educated guess at who that might be, who might be joining me in this series, but that'll give you something to look forward to too. And it's also worth saying that this is going to be a purely vanilla series. I'm not going to be using mods for this, at least for the time being. If we get to the point where we've been doing this a long time, we've kind of reached the limits of vanilla, then maybe we'll consider it at some point in the future when there are mods for 1.13, because I don't think they're actually out yet. Now, with that said, I'm hoping this Minecraft series will last a little bit better than my other ones have. I think being able to use creative mode will give me the freedom to to get them to kind of it'll make it easier for me to be able to not get bogged down with the resource collecting, because that was one of the biggest issues I was having with the previous oh, there's turtles here, you guys. But yeah, that was one of the biggest issues I had with the previous Minecraft series that I was doing. We had okay, this is important to note because we're gonna want to work with these guys later. But yeah, so that was one of the biggest issues I was having, was that I was getting really bogged down with having to collect all the resources all the time, and it was just taking too long to be able to record the episodes. So being able to use creative mode for some of the build work, I think will help balance that out. And if you guys have ideas as to the regulations as to when we can use creative mode versus when we should be in survival mode, then definitely let me know. But I think the first thing we're going to want to start to do is we're going to want to build some sort of a barn, I believe. And so we have some of our supplies here, and I think what I'll probably do is I'll actually switch to creative mode for this part. So we probably will be pretty good on the food for now. Just for now, I'm going to drop this in here, and we'll put our tools away as well. So this is kind of another storage area. And I'll go ahead and show you kind of what I'm thinking with the creative mode. So if we go here, we can actually we can go ahead and we can set game mode, if I can spell it right, game mode creative. And so now we'll be in creative mode. The other thing that is a little bit special about what I have here is that I did change 2 of the game rules. So I turned off mob griefing because, again, this is a fairly build-focused playthrough that we're going to be doing, and it's just not fun when creepers are blowing everything up. They can still blow me up, but what they can't do is blow up the blocks. And so they're not going to be destroying our creations constantly. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab some of this dark oak, I'm going to grab some of these spruce, and I'm going to grab some of this stripped oak log. Now this is new to this version of the game as well. This is one of the things that they added, and we'll go ahead, and the other thing I'm going to do is let's go back in and we'll get our shovel. And it shouldn't take durability when we're in creative mode, but that'll let us kind of, that'll let us make the path. And the path is something we're going to want to be able to do because we kind of have that where we don't have the wood blocks here. So we have our nice bridge, and I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of extend that. I did that. Okay, so I had the one block come down, and then we extend with the path block here. So we'll kind of bring that out this way. And we'll probably put our barn. So we've got like a nice oceany area over here. So what I think we'll do is we'll probably put the barn, maybe not on this peninsula. So this I want to make into some sort of habitat too. We have this nice little natural lake here that kind of merged with the ocean. And so it'd be very easy to kind of wall off this area and kind of create a little mini ecosystem there. But I think for the barn, the other option would be to put it over there. So I think, because we want this area to be kind of the aquarium area, and so if we're gonna do a barn, then probably the problem is there's not really a lot of room right there. So if we're gonna do the aquarium, we want this to be part of that ecosystem. We're gonna have that here. And we'll have this whole marine center. I shouldn't quite call it an aquarium because it's more of a marine center. And I guess you could almost call it a conservation thing. I mean, things work a little differently in Minecraft, but that's kind of the concept, is to collect and preserve the different species, presumably for research and education. And so what I think we'll do is, let's go ahead and we'll put the barn right here. So I'll kind of block out this area. So what we did was we'll bring the path around here. I'm just gonna not very, I'm not gonna be very precise about it. I'm just gonna give it a direction here. Oh, you can only do it on grass, apparently. So we'll kind of just give it a direction to head this way. Are these still cod? I think they're still cod. There's also salmon in this, and we'll probably see some of those later. There's actually a lot of different types of fish, and it's gonna be nighttime. So because we're doing a creative build right now, we can set the time to day because nobody likes to be working in the dark here. But during survival mode, we won't be when we're doing the survival portions of it, we won't be doing any of these creative cheats. So what I think we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna terraform down this area here. We'll kind of clear this out. And we'll save that step up. That'll be leading into the aquarium then, where we'll have that area kind of come up. And so we'll kind of bring this down a block. And that'll give us a little bit of a better area to work with for the barn. And then it'll step up for the aquarium. So the barn will be where we're going to keep our, like our farm animals. So we have the horse in the stable right off of the house there. We might at some point do some horse breeding too. But for now, what we're going to end up doing is we will kind of start a barn project, and this will be where we'll save the animals that we need for resources, and we'll keep them for food or for wool or whatever we really need from them. Oops, let's put that sand back. So I'll probably not do all of this on camera. I'll just kind of set up a little bit of an area here so that you guys can kind of see where it's going, and then I'll probably do a fair bit off camera. So I'm going to finish up this, I'll finish off this part here and finish off clearing this up and kind of set up the base and then give you an idea of where I'm going, and then we'll wrap up the episode, and then by next time I'll try to have the barn done. And you guys will have to tell me, so here's what I'm going to ask you this time is, how much of the building do you want to see on camera? Do you want to see the whole thing and I just perhaps speed it up? Do you want me to go at a normal pace and not speed it up at all, and even if it takes a while? How do you want to see me do that? Because this is going to have a very build-focused side to it as well as the survival side. And so with that in mind, then yeah, this is going to be, like, what do you guys want to see with that? And again, I'm going to try and stick to the resources which we would have access to, with the exception of the decorative lighting ones and purely decorative stuff like these leaves. They just look cool. It's not, we're not going to be breaking them for jungle saplings or anything like that. They just look cool. If it's purely decorative, I'm a little bit more lenient about that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up setting up this barn area and just kind of get it started, give you an idea where we're going with it, and then I'll see you guys after that. I'll show you what I've done, and we'll wrap up the episode. Alright, so I've been messing around with the barn a little bit, and this is the rough layout I figured out. So I figured it has some places to keep the animals. We can have little yards for them so they can go out and eat their grass, and little areas inside where we can have them be able to come in if it gets rainy, as it so often does. I'm thinking we need to call this place something like Stormy Port or something, just because of how often it storms, and I feel like I forgot to mention this. I'm not entirely sure, but I also turned off fire tick because when I went to start the video the first time, a thunderstorm came and lit the bridge on fire and burned half of it down. So yeah, when you're building with wood, fire tick is not a fun thing. So yeah, that's off, so we won't have fires spreading everywhere. And we just have to remember that the flip side of that is we can't use fire to clear an area. So yeah, it's just a lot easier when you have a lot of wood-based builds, as is the style of this, to not have to worry about fire destroying everything dramatically. So yeah, and that way we can also like make working fireplaces that won't kill everything. So yeah, but so this is kind of what I have for the barn. We'll probably put the animals in there, and I'll actually show you guys catching the animals and bringing them here. We'll have to take that wheat that we have and bring them this way with that. And so we'll be able to do that in the next episode. But yeah, you guys will have to tell me if you like this idea of me kind of just showing you the various stages of the process, or if you want to see more of the whole thing, or if you want me to film it and then speed it up or whatnot. That sheep's gonna walk right into the barn, it looks like, almost, so we might have a sheep in there to start off with. But yeah, so this is kind of how I'm gonna be starting the series off, and we'll work with that from there. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here for today, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys are excited about this new series. I'm very excited. I'm excited to be back into Minecraft, and I'm hoping I've finally found a method of creating Minecraft content that works, because I've always had problems with the other series that have ultimately led to them ending, so hopefully this one will be a little bit easier to continue here. So, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here for today, because it is about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.